The room was cold. Too cold. Lights blinked softly on the walls. Machines hummed like sleeping animals. Alien nurse Zilari stood beside the bed, staring at the creature lying still. He wasn't from her world. He was human. His skin was soft, pale, and covered in cuts. A strange red liquid oozed from a wound on his shoulder. Blood, they called it. Zilari had never seen blood before. Her fingers hovered above his body, unsure. Her people didn't bleed. They didn't feel pain the way humans did. She had read about humans, violent, emotional, unstable, but also brave. And now she was assigned to care for one. His name? Jace Kellen. A soldier from Earth. He had fallen from the sky during the last battle between humans and the Zarnak. The ship crash-landed near her medical base. The others wanted to leave him. Let him die, they said. He is dangerous. But Zilari, she had chosen differently. Now she stood alone beside his bed, watching his chest rise and fall slowly. He was unconscious. His breathing was uneven. Her 6 fingers moved quickly, adjusting a tube near his neck. Her other hand reached for the data tablet. His vitals were strange, too warm, too fast. Suddenly, a soft beep. Another beep. Then a warning flashed across the tablet. Abnormal activity detected in lower abdomen. Zilari blinked. She looked down toward the blanket covering his lower body. At first, she saw nothing. But then, movement. Something was growing. Her long blue eyes widened. Her species, the Yelani, had no reproductive organs like this. They reproduced through genetics and cloning. Physical attraction was a strange idea to them, unnecessary. But here, in front of her, this human's lower body was changing shape. A bulge was forming under the blanket. Was it an infection? A parasite? A weapon? She stepped back. Computer, she whispered, her voice flat, emotionless. Explain anomaly in human subject number 49. The computer responded. Unknown biological activity. Possible internal pressure buildup. Emergency scan recommended. Her heart, if it could be called that, beat faster. She reached for the scanner device and hovered it over the blanket. The machine blinked red. Inflammation detected. Internal pressure rising. No external wound present. She panicked. Was this human going to explode? Was this a time-delayed weapon? She turned on the intercom. Medical command. This is Nurse Zilari. Urgent anomaly. Detected in human patient. Possible threat. Requesting backup. But no one answered. The night shift was always quiet. Most of the facility was sleeping. She looked back at the human. And then, he moved. Not much. Just a twitch of the hand. Then his eyes opened, slowly. Brown, deep, tired. Their eyes met. You're not human, he whispered. No, she replied. And you are changing. Explain what is happening. Jace blinked. He tried to sit up, groaned in pain, and winced. What are you talking about? He asked. She pointed to the bulge under the blanket. This growth. It is increasing in size, rapidly. Jace looked down. Then he covered his face with his hand and let out a groan, not of pain, but embarrassment. Oh no, not now, he mumbled. Zilari tilted her head. Explain. Is it a disease? He started laughing, even while in pain. Oh God. You really don't know, he said. Between chuckles, it's not a disease. That's just human biology. Zilari stared, confused. What function does it serve? Is it dangerous? Jace tried to wave it off. It's natural. Happens sometimes. I was probably dreaming. Dreaming? She asked. You were unconscious. He gave her a half smile. That's what dreaming is. She did not understand. Her species didn't dream. Silence filled the room. The scanner beeped again. Jace looked embarrassed. Can you just turn away for a minute? I must monitor your vitals, she said, not moving. Fine, he sighed. But please, don't call the army over this. It's just a reaction. To what? She asked. His eyes flicked toward her, then away. He looked at her face, her glowing skin, her strange but graceful shape. I don't know. Maybe to you, he said, then quickly added. I mean, not you exactly, just you being close. Now it was Zilari who stepped back. Her hands trembled slightly. Something her kind were trained never to do. She had read about human emotions. Love, desire, attraction. But she never thought she'd see it, or cause it. Especially not like this. Especially not with a soldier, who fell from the sky. A loud alarm rang through the silent hospital wing. Quarantine breach in room 49. Unidentified biological activity detected. Red lights flashed. Nurse Zilari stood frozen beside the human's bed. Her eyes were locked on the scanner, still blinking red. Still reading, inflammation detected, pressure rising. More than anything, she hated one word flashing on the screen. Unknown. Unknown meant danger. Unknown meant possible attack. And this human, Jace Kellen, was now fully awake, fully alert, and still smiling. Do you ever not panic? He asked, glancing at the blinking scanner. This could be a biological weapon, she said sharply. Jace sighed. It's not a weapon. It's called an erection. She narrowed her eyes. What is the purpose of this erection? He rubbed his face. How do I explain this in alien terms? But before he could try, 3 armed guards stormed into the room. Tall, silver-skinned Yolani soldiers. Each held a pulse rifle. Their helmets flashed with scanning lights. Step away from the patient. One barked at Zilari. He's not attacking, she said quickly. His body is reacting. We don't understand how. The guards pointed their weapons at Jace. He raised both hands. Okay. Easy with the space guns. The commander stepped closer, eyes fixed on the scanner. Internal pressure. Sudden. Growth, no visible wound. It could be a parasite, a time bomb. A human toxin. Really? Jace muttered. You think I smuggled a bomb in there? No one laughed. Not even Zilari. The commander turned to her. Restrain the patient. Full body. Scan. Isolate the lower region. We need answers. Zilari hesitated. Commander, I suggest we wait. He is stable. Let me speak to him first. He ignored her. Guards moved in. They strapped Jace's arms and legs. One guard reached for the blanket. Jace shouted, Whoa! I have rights. Not here, you don't, said the commander coldly. But Zilari stepped between them. Stop. Everyone froze. She looked at the commander. This reaction is connected to emotional triggers. I believe it is not a weapon. How do you know? He asked. She turned slowly to Jace. Because I caused it. Silence. The guards looked at each other. Jace coughed. Well, now this is awkward. The commander stepped back. Fine, you take full responsibility. If it explodes, it's on you. They left, weapons still ready. When the door closed, Jace relaxed. Thanks for the save, he said. Zilari stared at him. You said it is emotional? Yeah, he nodded. Sometimes it's automatic. Sometimes it's caused by thoughts. Or people. Me? She asked softly. Jace smiled. You're the only one around. She blinked. Does this mean you find me attractive? He hesitated. I mean, you're definitely not human, but you're something. Zilari looked at the scanner. The red light was fading. His pressure was lowering. Fascinating. Your body changes shape, she whispered. Your chemistry shifts. Because of a feeling? Exactly, Jay said. Welcome to being human. She took a small breath. We Yolani don't feel like this. Attraction, emotion. Our reproduction is mechanical, clean, cold. That sounds boring, Jace muttered. Zilari didn't smile, but her head tilted, curious. You think emotions are useful? He shrugged. They make life harder, but also better. She nodded slowly, still watching the readings drop to normal. Then, I must study this further, she said. Privately, Jace laughed. Just don't bring the guns next time. Scene shift. Medical control room. The commander watched the footage silently. Another doctor stood beside him. You think it's true? The doctor asked. That it's just emotion? The commander's voice was low. Perhaps, or perhaps the human is lying. Manipulating her. Should we separate them? No, the commander said. Let's see where this goes. Sometimes the best way to expose a weapon is to let it grow. The human cells were changing, but not because of injury, not because of infection. They were reacting to her. Nurse Zilari stared at the results on the private scanner. Her hands were cold. Her mind raced. She hadn't told anyone about this test. Not even the commander. She had secretly taken a skin sample from Jace while he was asleep. She had never broken protocol before. But ever since the incident, the bulge, the scanner alert, his strange reactions, something had changed. In him and in her. The test results were glowing now. Bright green pulses. They were clear, emotional response detected in the blood. Neurological spikes. Elevated chemical signals. Cause: visual stimulation plus close proximity to Nurse Zilari. Zilari blinked. She was causing his body to change. Just by standing near him, her breath caught. This was more than biology. This was something new. Her people had no words for it. Humans did. They called it desire. Flashback, 3 hours earlier. Just take the test, said Dr. Loran, handing her the illegal scanner. Zilari shook her head. It's forbidden, and yet, you're curious. She hesitated. He looked at me like I mattered. The doctor raised an eyebrow. Do you want to matter? Zilari couldn't answer. But that night, when Jace was sleeping peacefully, she ran the test anyway, and now she had proof. Back to present, medical lab. She copied the data into her private folder and closed the screen. If the commanders saw this, they would lock her away, or worse, erase her. Suddenly, a shadow moved in the doorway. She turned fast, ready to hide the results. It was Jace, wearing nothing but a loose hospital robe, and limping a little. Wow, he said with a smile. Didn't know aliens stayed up so late. You shouldn't be walking, she said quickly. You shouldn't be spying on my body, he replied, nodding at the scanner behind her. Zilari didn't deny it. Instead, she said softly, you react to me. Jace's smile faded. He stepped closer. You scanned me? I had to understand, she whispered. I've never seen anything like it. Your body, your emotions, they shift. Even your skin changes warmth when I'm near. He chuckled nervously. That's not science, that's flirting. What is flirting? She asked. He laughed again, slower this time. It's when you say strange things to someone you like, you know, to get closer. Closer? She echoed. He took another step. Do you want to get closer? Zilari felt something again, in her chest. A pulse, soft but real. I don't know what I want, she said. But my hands shake around you. That has never happened before. Jace looked into her eyes, big, silver, unreadable. Then he reached out and gently touched her fingers. Her breath hitched. I think your people missed something important, he whispered. You cloned bodies, but you forgot the feeling inside. She didn't pull away, but she didn't speak either. Silence was cut by a loud alarm. Medical emergency. Sector 6. They both jumped. Zilari pressed her earpiece. Zilari here. What's the emergency? A cold voice replied. Unauthorized medical tests detected. Nurse Zilari, report to control immediately. Her eyes widened. They found the scan. They knew. Jay stepped in front of her. Do I need to run? No, she said firmly. I do. Scene shift. Medical control room. Commander Rizar stared at the data on the screen. He turned to his advisor. She scanned him for emotional response. That is not medicine. That is obsession. She's compromised, the advisor said. The human has infected her. The commander gave a dark smile. Then we will treat her like an infected subject. He tapped the screen. Activate the separation protocol. Isolate patient number 49 and bring the nurse in. It's time for answers. Asterisk. The lab door was not supposed to open at night. But tonight, it did. Not with a sound. Not with a warning. It just slid open, as if it had been waiting for her. Nurse Zilari stepped inside, her shadow long behind her. The lab was cold. Too cold. Lights flickered above rows of glass tubes, glowing softly with alien colors. Inside those tubes were secrets. Old, dark ones. Experiments, failures, things not even doctors spoke about. She was not allowed here. Not alone. But something was pulling her. She needed to know the truth about the human. Earlier that day, control room interrogation. Shillery had stood straight, hands behind her back. You broke protocol, Commander Rezar said. I followed curiosity, she replied. He slammed the data screen in front of her. You ran emotional scans, without permission. That's not curiosity, that's contamination. Zilari had said nothing. The commander leaned closer. Do you feel something for this thing? No, she lied. I only want to understand him. Then prove it, he said. Enter the deep lab. Find out what he really is. Back to present. Deep medical lab. She walked past specimen tanks, long metal tables, old machines humming with ancient energy. Then she reached the archive chamber. A single screen sat in the middle of the room, locked behind layers of biocoding. She placed her hand on the scanner. The system paused. Then opened. Classified files. Human biology, code 42. Label, Project Eden. Her fingers trembled. Project Eden, notes from first human contact. Subjects' emotions are chemically unstable. Their nervous systems release pleasure and pain from the same center. This reaction may be triggered by visual contact, skin touch, or verbal tone from a bonded source. She scrolled further. Humans can form emotional bonds with non-human species, even Yelani. Physical arousal is not sickness. It is connection. Zilari took a step back. It wasn't infection. It wasn't a weapon. It was him. Reaching toward her, not with tools or guns, but with emotion. And worse, she had started reaching back. Suddenly, the screen blinked. Incoming message, medical command. Nurse Zilari, you are to report immediately. Patient number 49 has been moved. Access revoked. Do not return to lab. Her breath caught. Moved? Why? Scene shift. Patient holding Bijay sat in a cold, dark cell. No windows. No light. He tapped the glass wall with one finger. No one answered. His wrists were strapped again. Not for safety. For control. A robotic voice spoke from the ceiling. You are being held for psychological observation. Human emotional states are considered volatile. You may be contagious. He laughed bitterly. Contagious? What do they think I'm gonna do? Feel too hard. Then he whispered, Zilari, I hope you're okay. Scene shift. Zilari's quarters. She sat on her bed, staring at her shaking hands. She had never cried before. Her kind didn't cry, but her eyes were wet. Not from sadness. From something else. Something human. She whispered one word. Why does it hurt? They locked her door from the outside. No warning. No explanation. No key. Nurse Zilari pressed her hand against the cold glass, watching shadows move in the hallway. Guards walked past, not in pairs, but in squads. All armed. They weren't searching for an enemy. They were searching for her. The screen on her wall flashed red. Emotional breach confirmed. Subject, Zilari, status, contaminated. Her chest tightened. She had cared too much, asked too many questions. And now, they saw her as a danger, not because she had failed, but because she had felt elsewhere. Holding Cell 9, Jace slammed his fist against the glass wall. No response. No voice. No update. They took her, didn't they? He whispered. There was no one to answer. Only the silent hum of alien tech and the burning question in his chest. Was she okay? Was she scared? Would he ever see her again? Earlier, secret meeting room Commander Razar sat in the shadows. Across from him sat the counselor of protocol. Her skin pale as bone, her eyes dead like ice. The nurse is compromised, she said. Emotionally infected. Dangerous. Razar didn't blink. I gave her permission to explore. She found answers. She found connection, the counselor hissed. That's worse than lies. Razar nodded once. Then we'll test them both, he said. Let's see what happens when we break the bond. Back to present, Zilari's room. Her food hadn't arrived. Her messages were blocked. Even the light above her bed had turned cold blue, the color for medical lockdown. She touched the small implant behind her ear and whispered, "Command. Requesting contact. Emergency status." A robotic voice replied, "Denied. You are under review for emotional violation." She stood up quickly, heart pounding. They were going to erase her memories. That's what they did to anyone who felt too much. That's what they would do to him, too, unless she stopped them. Scene shift. Jace's cell. Suddenly, the glass wall slid open. No alarm, no guards, just silence. Then a figure appeared. Not Yelani. Not alien, but a shape Jace recognized. Zilari, wearing a black coat, eyes wide with urgency. He smiled. "I was starting to think I imagined you." "No time," she said. "We have 5 minutes before the system reboots. If we're caught, they'll wipe both of us. Where are we going?" He asked. "Out," she said. "Out where?" "I don't know," she admitted. "But away from here, somewhere we're not dangerous." He looked at her, eyebrows raised. "You broke protocol for me?" "I broke everything," she said softly. "And I would do it again." Scene shift. Underground hallways they ran. Fast, silent. Past empty labs, dark corridors, and old tunnels that hadn't been used in years. Zilari's heart beat faster than ever before. Not from fear, but from something human. Hope. Behind them, lights flickered red again. Security had noticed the breach. They were being tracked. They had maybe 2 minutes left. Cutaway, control. Room Commander Razar watched the escape on screen. "They're running," the technician said. Razar's eyes narrowed. "Let them, sir, if they want to be together," he said darkly. "Then let the world show them what that really means." Final scene. Exit Bay 7. The airlock hissed open. Cold wind blew across the platform. A sky full of stars waited beyond. Zilari and Jace stood at the edge, one breath away from freedom or destruction. "We jump now," she said, "or we never jump again." Jace looked at her. "You're really not like the others." She looked back. "Neither are you." They jumped. They didn't die when they jumped. But part of them did. The part that believed they were safe. The part that trusted the system. The part that thought feeling was allowed. 3 hours after the escape, outer moon surface, they landed. Hard in the cold dust outside the medical station. Barely alive, barely breathing. Jace's side was bleeding again. Zilari's left leg was damaged. But they were free. For now, the stars above them were sharp and silent. 1,000 suns. 1,000,000 eyes, Jace groaned, pulling himself up against a rock. "That was the worst date I've ever had." Zilari didn't understand the joke. Her kind didn't date. They bonded only through genetic data, but she still smiled, just a little. "Just for him. We have 2 hours," she said. Before their drones find us. That's enough, Jace replied. Enough to ask you something. She looked at him confused. Why did you come back for me? She was silent. Then she said softly, because I felt something. Forbiddance. Flashback, Yelani memory room. Long before humans were found, the Yelani had strict rules. No attachments, no affection, no bonds. Emotion was treated like a virus, unpredictable, chaotic, dangerous. Zilari had watched as another nurse was erased years ago. Her only crime, she held the hand of a dying patient too long. The elders had called it emotional weakness. Now Zilari had not only touched a human. She had run for him, lied for him, bled for him. She was no longer Yelani. Back to present, hidden cave beneath the surface. They took shelter in an old mining tunnel, abandoned for decades. It smelled like dust and rusted metal. Jace lit a small emergency lamp. The soft light touched her face. You look tired, he said. I feel different. That's called stress, he joked. She shook her head. No, it's not stress. It's something deeper. I feel like I'm not alone anymore, and I don't want to be. His smile faded. She looked at him, truly looked. Human. Fragile, strange, loud. And yet, he made her feel alive. I think I understand now, she whispered. Why your people fight for love. He reached out, slowly, carefully, and placed his hand over hers. No one ever fought for me before, he said. I'm not done fighting, she replied. Scene shift. Yelani Control Tower Commander Rezar stood over a glowing table, maps blinking. Drones were closing in on the escapees. Behind him, the counselor arrived. She chose the human, the counselor said. As predicted, she chose emotion, Rezar replied. That's even worse, the counselor nodded. Shall we retrieve them? Rezar paused. No, he said. We let them believe they are free. Let the emotion grow. Let it burn. Why? She asked. He turned slowly. Because only when it hurts will they understand what love truly is. Final scene. Underground. Cavaxilari leaned against Jace's shoulder. For the first time, she closed her eyes and didn't think about duty, didn't think about rules, just warmth. Jace? Yeah? What happens if we don't make it? He turned his head. Then at least we weren't afraid to feel. Single silent tear slipped down her alien cheek. She whispered. Then I will feel everything. Until the end. It wasn't a drone that found them. It was a voice, soft, female, not metal, not machine. But Yelani. And it called out only one word. Traitor. Cave entrance. Final moments before Cavaxilari turned sharply toward the entrance. 3. Shadows appeared. Figures in silver armor. Glowing blue rifles aimed straight at her. Jace stood, ready to shield her, even as his side bled through his shirt. You're not taking her, he said, fists clenched. The lead guard stepped forward. We're not here for her, he said coldly. We're here for both of you. Zilari stepped in front of Jace. No, he's not like us. He doesn't belong in your cells. The guard tilted his head. Neither do you anymore. Scene shift. Detention wing. Orbiting station. They were separated. Zilari stood alone in a circular glass room. Monitors surrounded her. Her past flashed in loops. Her scans, her touch, her smile. The counselor appeared on screen. You were made for precision, she said. Not passion. Zilari didn't blink. Then unmake me. The counselor paused. There is one path left. What is it? Memory reset. You forget him. Forget emotion. You return to service. Or we let you both burn. Zilari felt a weight pressed down on her chest. Not fear. Something worse. Lost. Scene. Shift. Holding room Delta 3. Jace sat on the floor. Chained again. Head down. A soft chime echoed. His eyes lifted. A message blinked in the air. She has a choice. You or herself. he whispered. She'd choose herself. She has to, but his heart. Hope GWOULDN, single quotes T. Scene shift. Decision chamber auxiliary stood in the center of a glowing circle. Beside her was a memory scanner, sleek, silver, deadly. A voice echoed, choose. Forget or feel, peace or pain, duty or desire. She closed her eyes for the first time. She listened not to her training, but to her heart, and she answered, I choose him. Final scene, launch by J sat alone. The prisoner ship, about to be sent far from Yelani space. His eyes were empty now. No anger, no tears. Just silence. Until, a bang on the airlock, the door flew open, and there she was, breathing hard, eyes wild, blood on her sleeve. Free, she ran to him and took his face in both hands. I remember everything, she said. He stared at her. Why? She smiled. Because love is not the infection, she whispered. It's the cure. He pulled her close. For the first time, they kissed. A real kiss. Clumsy, foreign, perfect dot. And for the first time in Yelani history. Two hearts beat wildly. Inflamed. Alive. Together. Stolen ship flies quietly across the stars. Inside. A human and a former alien nurse sit side by side, not as patient and caretaker, but as something new. Not forbidden, not broken. Just burning bright,